Hello everyone and welcome back to Britney's Mystics. My name is Britney and I'm a tarot reader, and my goal is to help you through the art of tarot with any help and guidance that you may possibly need. All my information about me is down below. You can follow me on all my social medias. You can even book a personal reading with me if you feel called to do so. Now for this video, this pick a card reading, this is all going to be about July predictions. So this is going to be all the information, messages, advice, guidance that you need to hear from Spirit, that Spirit has for you for your July 2020 coming up. Now in front of me I have 4 different piles, and I will show an overhead shot of them very soon. But a little quick note, with the piles I always like to choose crystals to go with each pile, and I felt really called to choose crystals that relate and correlate to the 3 bottom chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus chakra, because I feel like a key theme that's going to be presenting itself to us throughout July is grounding ourselves, coming within, balancing those lower chakras, making sure that we're still, like, we know who we are still, and we're not spending too much time up in the clouds, and we're still coming back down to earth and centering within ourselves, being grounded and not getting too mixed up in the hustle and bustle of daily life and stress and all of that. So let's go ahead and show the different piles and jump into the reading. This right here is pile number 1 with the tiger's eye crystal. This right here is pile 2 with the orange citrine crystal. This right here is pile 3 with the carnelian crystal. And this right here is pile 4 with the honey calcite crystal. Again, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Now if you need more time to make your choice, just pause the video, take all the time that you need, and of course, like always, the time stamps for each pile will be in the description box below. And without further ado, let's jump into the reading. Alright, pile 1, the tiger eye pile. Welcome to your July 2020 prediction reading. I'm going to start off with the tarot, and these tarot cards are just going to give the general energy, the general overview of what's coming towards you this July. Now right off the bat, we have the Queen of Swords, the King of Wands, the 8 of Swords, and the King of Cups in reverse. So very interesting energy. It's like the first 2 cards are very like strong, confident energy, and the last 2 cards are very like not necessarily weak, just more anxiety, not as much confidence. So I feel like there's going to be definitely some type of balancing that needs to be done in July. Balancing, you know, your confidence, making sure that you are like sure of yourself, but not getting so confident that it becomes like an ego problem, and you it becomes more negative versus like a positive confidence about yourself. With the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands, definitely some type of like projects coming to their maturity, especially in terms of creative projects and in terms of communication as well. Definitely like some leveling up in any type of creative projects you have. Or like in terms of also communication, say if you've been more of a shy person, I feel like you're gonna want to work towards coming more out of your shell, becoming more yourself in July with that Queen of Swords energy. You could even be a Libra. This is, side note, this is one of my favorite cards. She's just very sure of herself. She's direct, she's clear, she sets those boundaries. She's smart with the being swords, representing air, intellect, communication. But with the 8 of Swords and the King of Cups here, I feel like, whatever type of insecurities or emotional imbalances that maybe you've been experiencing throughout your whole life, or maybe just in June alone, it's really time to let those go, because I feel like it's like false. It's like you're creating a false prison of yourselves in terms of, your emotions, any anxieties. Like, I feel like you have that power and strength within you that's there to overcome whatever anxieties or fears that you're like limiting yourself and keeping yourself stuck. Alright, Padawan, I feel like that's the general overview of July in terms of the messages that tarot has for you. Just making sure that you're balancing ego, balancing your emotions, and making sure that you're not keeping yourself stuck, and knowing that you have those gifts and those talents and whatever you need within you. It's a part of you. You have those personality traits, those strengths, those skills. It's all there. Don't let any type of, almost like fear, which is always heard fear stands for false evidence appearing real. Don't let any fear, keep you trapped and keep you stuck. Like with this Eight of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Don't let your emotions overtake you or become too over emotional. Really try to face things, with a clear, stable mind and logic before reacting as well. All right, so moving on to the next couple cards. These are going to be just any more advice or guidance that you need for July. So we have the Jamaica Kincaid card, history. We have the Sandra Cisneros card, which is the body, and Mary Shelley, which is the loss. So right off the bat, especially with this card, history card, I always see this as tapping in to kind of like your own personal history. If you've been feeling called to look into your family history, any type of ancestor, like trying to see your family history, family tree, I feel like this is kind of like your sign that, that they're waiting for you to research them and reach out to them and learn more about them. And since there is there's some flies, I think, on the card. Some flies, a crow, a bird, and a snake. I feel like maybe if you've been seeing these animals a lot, or maybe you will start seeing them in July a lot, I feel like these could be your ancestors giving you a sign. Maybe look up the spiritual meanings of these animals and see how that connects to you, because if you've been seeing them a lot, or maybe in July you're going to start seeing them a lot, that's a sign. It's a message. They're trying to reach out to you. So looking up history. Now with the body card, I always feel like this always has to do with almost like the divine feminine because of like the imagery on the card. So, all of us have feminine and masculine energy within us. So I feel like maybe it could be out of balance, kind of like what I said with the tarot cards. These are kind of almost very, it's feminine and masculine energy, and like I said, keeping things in balance. Maybe you need to tap more into your divine feminine and heal that as well, and just making sure that you're taking care of your body, making sure it's staying healthy, and that it's, there's the flowers, that it's blooming, it's coming into its full bloom and potential and beauty as well. And then with the Mary Shelley card, loss, the message that came through with this one, what I'm hearing is like whatever leaves you in July, whether if it's people, like jobs, opportunities, things, whatever leaves your life or whatever you're feeling called to leave behind and walk away from, it's going to hurt and it's going to be tough, but I feel like it's for your own good, because if you look at the tombstones, there's flowers blooming from them. So whatever has died and been laid to rest, it's growing something new. That's the message I'm hearing. This card is, let whatever needs to walk out of your life, whatever you need to walk away from, do it. And it's going to be hard, and it's going to be tough, and it's going to hurt, but I feel like it's going to be best, especially maybe like whatever has been causing you stress and whatever you've been thinking about leaving may have been taking a toll on your body. Stress can kill, and I saw 1111 on the time when I was saying that. So if you've been feeling the call to connect to your ancestors, do that. Take care of your body and whatever leaves you in July, whatever you're going to walk away from, whatever's going to walk away from you, I feel like it's for your best and greatest good, especially just for your health too, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, all of that. All right, so these next couple cards, these are going to be kind of like your love message, or kind of like things you need to do to be open to love. If you're single, how to open yourself up to receiving love, or how to make your current relationship better. So the first card is I'm open to love in various forms. So maybe if you're single, maybe you've been really closed off. Maybe you've been really like protecting yourself. The Knight of Cups, when it's upright, this could be a really beautiful card of romance. So again, kind of going back to this, maybe you had a bad experience in love and now you're really shut off and you're keeping yourself guarded into this prison of like not letting anybody in, but then you're also lonely and you're wanting love. But if you're not open to love, then how can you receive it? So I feel like, you know, you need to know that it's okay to open yourself to love and trust that the divine is going to bring you your divine one, your divine partner. Let's see. And the next card is I keep the waters pure. Now, all this reminds me of like the birth of Venus. So maybe you are ruled by Venus. Again, Libra, Taurus energy. Or maybe your partner is a Venetian, Taurus or Libra. So with the I keep the waters pure card, I feel like this is almost like don't be petty in terms of your relationships. It's kind of not focusing, it's being really washed out. But just not being petty in your relationships and keeping things pure and trying to like not dirtying the waters up with any petty energy, arguments, fights, all of that stuff. It's just keeping the waters pure. And I feel like this could also like go again if you're single. Like just again, it's keeping yourself open to love and letting love flow into your life. You know, with the water, the river, it's flowing, let it flow into your life. And then again, this one kind of connects what I just said, the I am peaceful card. You know, say if you're in a relationship or maybe your past relationships have been very rocky, argumentative, I guess, again, just make sure that you're not, you know, jumping to be petty or rude right away. Just trying to keep things balanced. Again, like look, there's the little time turner thing. Just keeping things balanced, letting things almost, again, letting the divine timing take over, whether you're single or in a relationship, letting divine timing take over and remaining peaceful on all of that, like having peace of mind knowing that things are working out the way that they need to work out. So that is the little love message for July, and these two cards are going to be key themes that are going to be of focus in July. And we have karmic completion, number 10, and moderation, number 14, which equals a 5. So with karmic completion, if you were in a relationship or some type of situation, and maybe it was one of those situations where you are in it and the same thing happens that causes you to drift apart, and then you come back together, the same thing essentially kind of happens, you drift apart, come back together, that type of thing, where it's a karmic relationship, it's a karmic cycle. It doesn't necessarily have to be with the person, most likely is with the person, but it could be with a job, a situation, something, a hobby, something that you would do, and it just wouldn't work out the way you wanted it to, and most of the time it would always end in the same way, but you kept going back to it hoping for the best. But yeah, that needs to be let go. It's completed. You learned whatever lesson you had to learn from that, whatever karma that you needed to receive from that relationship cycle, you've learned it. It's over. Don't keep putting yourself back into it. Don't keep yourself stuck, and keep going. You know, like, I mean, whatever you have to let go, whatever's going to walk away from you, the loss, it's going to hurt, but it's for your greatest and highest good. And then moderation. I guess if you've been overindulging in things that aren't really good for your health, you know, watch out for that. You know, again, we need to take care of our bodies, especially since there is kind of like very feminine, beautiful imagery on this. You know, maybe if you've been going back to the same sexual partner and it's, you know, it's not good for you, kind of almost cut it off, or don't like keep indulging into it because you know it's not good for you. That's a message that I feel like I just needed to get in there. And then lastly, we have one card, and this is kind of like a little affirmation card. So this is the despair card, and it reads, I need your divine intercession right now, O Great Spirit. Lift this darkness from my soul, free me from this burden, open me to your highest plan. May I be a peaceful vessel for your love. So yeah, so maybe July, it's going to be a lot of just rebalancing, rethinking, reassessing everything going on in your life. And I feel like, you know, that's never easy. Maybe it could be easy for you. Doesn't necessarily have to be hard for every single person. But just know that, like, that you're taken care of, and, you know, just trust, remain peaceful, knowing that divine timing is in control and leading you where you need to be. Alright, pile 1, that is your July 2020 prediction. If you resonated with this message, give me a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and comment. I love talking to you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Hello, pile 2, the orange citrine pile. Welcome to your July 2020 prediction reading. Now, I have this separated into different sections like I usually do with my pick of cards. And the tarot, this is going to be the general overview message. Okay, all reversals, very interesting, a lot of cups. So we have the 4 of Cups in reverse, the 2 of Cups in reverse, the King of Swords in reverse, and the Page of Cups in reverse. Now, with there being lots of Cups cards in reverse, really, I feel like, really make sure that you're in control of your emotions in July, and you're not either like blocking your emotions from feeling them, or not letting your emotions take control and become too much and just really stress you and wear you down. Okay, so one message that's coming through is I feel like you've been wanting to manifest a partner, and I feel like the universe and divine is like trying to give it to you, but you're just ignoring it, like, and like I feel like you know that it's trying to give it to you, and it's not like you're not seeing it. I feel like you do see it, but you're just not letting it in, and I feel like it's because you have some type of emotional hurt or baggage, something that you need to heal. With that Page of Cups in reverse, the 2 of Cups in reverse representing that relationship, and the 4 of Cups in reverse representing you ignoring it. For sure, and I feel like it has to do with any type of ego problem, being stubborn with this King of Swords in reverse. So really just make sure that your emotions are in balance and making sure that your ego is in check. You're not letting your ego get in the way of things that could potentially bless you. This could also, another message that I'm hearing is in July, you could potentially be breaking up with someone or ending a relationship, and this could be something that you've been kind of meditating on for a while, but now you're not ignoring that anymore and you're just gonna go for it, because whatever maybe this person was just really hurting you emotionally. Maybe they were verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. I mean, I feel like that's a message for very few of you, but if it resonates, you know, this is spirit kind of confirming like this is time to end this union, as it's not really healthy and working out for you anymore. And lastly, another thing is maybe July is not the month for just like relationships for you in general. Maybe if you're not really be presenting relationships, or you're not seeking out relationships, but you know that you need to heal a lot before you get into relationships, July is going to be the month of like healing. As like the last little message there. And then these next couple of cards, these are going to be any advice or extra guidance that you need for the month of July. So we have the Lion card, the Spider card, and the Creature's Paw card. So right away with this deck, the Lion is essentially almost just like the Strength card. Just really knowing that you are strong and tapping into that inner lion and not letting, you know, things get to you, and you know, not letting your emotions like take over you or like any type of like ego, knowing that you're strong and you have, I heard, just like strong will as well. And with this Creature's Paw here, this is definitely about forgiveness. It could be in terms of friends, but maybe, you know, kind of like I said, this also could be in terms when I said breaking up relationships, it could be love, and also just could be family, friend, like family relationships and friendships. Or if someone did hurt you, like just, you know, forgiving them for yourself so you can move on and heal. And like, just kind of quick note about forgiveness, it doesn't, you're not saying that what they did is okay. It doesn't mean you have to reconcile with them. Forgiveness is literally for yourself. It's not for the other person. It's for you. It's for you to move on. And it does take a lot of strength, but it will only add to your strength. You know, don't let your ego get in the way, or like pettiness. Forgiving yourself and moving on, because you are strong and you can forgive and, you know, heal and move on, and it only add to your strength. And with the Spider card, July is definitely going to be a month of planning and kind of reassessing and building that strong foundation. And this is really, and with this type of planning, this isn't kind of making a short little list. This is going to be definitely more in-depth planning. You're going to be really looking at and assessing all the details and making sure that all the little details and, you know, individual things are in place. So I feel like you have big plans and you're wanting to go after them, and you can, you know, so make sure that you're really planning it and looking at all the details and assessing every little thing to make sure it's all in place, you know. And I guess nothing can be perfect, we're human, but as close to perfect as possible. Now these next couple cards are going to be a little love message for July. So we have, I keep my own counsel. So with this card, I feel like whether if you're single or in a relationship, just making sure that you're really like, at the end of the day, that you are like your true like soulmate, that you like love yourself, like you are your own counsel. Don't try to seek out value or your own purpose or anything else in relationships. Like, make sure that you have it all within yourself, and that you can rely on yourself, and that you can trust yourself. And like, before you get into relationships, and if you aren't in a relationship, really assess like, can I live without this person? Because you should be able to essentially live without that person and be okay. So that could be another theme in July. Again, kind of like I said, just like looking at everything with that Spider card, making sure everything's planned out right, and you're sticking to whatever you want to go, and you're not straying off that plan. Kind of like maybe you have like a plan or routine, but then you start talking to someone and it kind of throws your routine off, that kind of energy. Making sure that you're staying true to yourself. And then we have the I benefit with gratitude card. So in terms of just like love, being grateful for what you have and all the lessons that you have learned, I feel like this is definitely more of like a singles person message. If you're single and you've been like wanting a relationship, or maybe you've just been like struggling with your relationships, you feel like you just have the worst luck, nothing can ever work out, just still having a heart of gratitude, that and trusting and knowing and being thankful for the divine and the plan that divine has laid out in front of you and is guiding you on, that it's for a reason, and you're gonna only learn and grow and become stronger with the Lion card. And then we have the I am humble card. Again, this kind of goes with what I said with the King of Swords in reverse. Just not letting your ego get in the way. Don't let your ego block your blessings in terms of your love life, or don't let your ego cause your relationships to crumble and fall in terms of kind of being petty or having that I'm always right, or excuse me, always putting your partner down. So that's the quick little love message for your July. And then these two cards, these are going to be about any key themes that will be of importance or focus in July. The first one's physical activity, number 67. So 6, 7, this would be 13, 4. So equal up to a 4, I believe, if I did the math right. So just taking care of your health, exercising will be something that you're going to be wanting to focus on in July 2020. And then the next card is leadership. So with this leadership card, I feel like, again, almost connects back to this spider card, just taking over, like gaining control back over your life. And you know, really, again, like with the I keep my own counsel card, like I'm having trouble like wording this, just like really just getting everything together like on your own and being like your leader and like your boss. I'm not saying like don't get help from other people, but like say if you're someone who really relies on someone and it's a very unhealthy way, just like time to like learning how to rely on yourself for once and take control back over for yourselves. And also maybe you will be promoted to like a leadership position, or a leadership opportunity will be presented to you in July. Another little message there. And lastly, we have a little affirmation card. So we have the word spaciousness. It reads, "What do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, places, or things drain my vital essence. Show me what will fill me with enthusiasm and joy." So that's something, an affirmation to take with you and carry with you throughout your month of July. And that is all the messages that I have for you, pile number 2. If this resonated, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hello, pile number 3, the Carnelian pile. Welcome to your July 2020 Pick a Card reading. So this first set of cards is just the regular tarot cards, and this is going to be just the general overview energy coming towards you in July. Okay, so right off the bat, we have the Magician in reverse, the 4 Swords in reverse, the 3 of Hearts in reverse, the 3 of Swords in reverse, and the 3 of Wands in reverse. Right off the bat, I feel like there's just lots of insecurity and doubts within yourself, especially in terms of like manifesting, that you need to let go, with the Magician being in reverse and the 3 of Swords being in reverse. You are like doubting that you're going to get the things that you want, or that you're capable to get the things that you want. And I feel like you've been waiting for a long time and you still haven't gotten it, and it's causing you to feel hurt, and it's causing just like your emotions to get out of control, and it feels like just nothing's working out for you. I feel like it's going to be a lot of that energy. But I mean, that energy can be changed. You know, with the tarot, nothing's set in stone. This is just like a reading of the energy right now. So I feel like this is almost like this is a warning to get you out of that mindset. The Magician, like, he has all of like the elements of the tarot, the Pentacles, the Cups, the Wands, and the Swords out in front of him on the table, but he's not using any of them, because even though those are there and they help him, he's already like strong enough and powerful enough. He doesn't really necessarily need them to do whatever his work is, and he has everything within him already, and those are just extra things. And I feel like that's like you have that power, but for some, you know, maybe it could have been someone broke your heart in a relationship, or maybe someone talked down on you and basically was saying that you can't do it and you can't accomplish your dreams or whatever you're trying to manifest or work towards. I feel like that's false. Like, I feel like you really just sat and just like marinated in those lies, those words, especially with, you know, Swords being ruling air and like intellect, communication. You really just like let those words like seep into you and like pierce your heart, and you're like, I heard the word ego and like emotions, and you're just like, and you feel like you're gonna be waiting forever, or whatever you've been waiting for or wanting to, it's just not coming in. But I feel like that's just not the case. All right, let's jump into the next cards, which are just any more advice or guidance that Spirit has for you for July. Okay. We have Charlotte Perkins Gilman, which is the Freedom card. Beautiful card. And then we have House and Mushrooms. So with the House card, in terms of like that kind of like that hurt that I said from you, and like in the first part of the reading, I feel like this could almost essentially be family hurt, or you just feel very limited in your house, whatever place that you're currently in. Doesn't necessarily have to be a family home, but just wherever you're living, the people that are living with you, or it doesn't matter if you live with your family, they could just be when they call you or text you. And I feel like you need some type of freedom. You need to get out of whatever environment that is holding you back and holding you down. Excuse me. And with the mushrooms, I feel like you need your own little place to grow privately and undisturbed. You need that peace. You definitely, like in July, definitely like seek that inner peace and that freedom. And whatever freedom that you need from whatever is causing you hurt or harm. And like on the card, you see like there's two eyes, and eyes are a very spiritual like symbol. So protect yourself from like the haters, like the evil eye. I feel like maybe you like utilize the protection of the evil eye, that charm. And just, you know, try to, if you can, try to get out of whatever environment that's causing you like to stunt your growth, because you need, it's almost like you need your own little place to grow. And I feel like you know that deep down and you're wanting to, but you feel definitely stuck. Or maybe you're trying to manifest your own place, but you feel like it's just not going to happen. But don't give up. Keep going. Keep going. Keep trying to manifest. And maybe if it's not working, try to like review and look at how you're manifesting. Maybe the way you're manifesting, you know, you're doing like something, there's something like a little tweak that you can make. So the next couple of cards are going to be just kind of like a little love message. So we have the I Can Be Trusted card. So in terms of love, I feel like maybe if you are in a relationship, I feel like maybe you had those trust issues within the relationship. Maybe you have trust issues with your partner, or your partner has trust issues with you. And I feel like that's a theme that needs to be worked out and like a focus, if it will focus on the actual camera. In terms of July, any type of relationship problems that you may face, it could be trust issues. But also, if you're single, maybe you need to work on trust issues with other people. Maybe you had bad relationships that caused you not to trust as easily. That could be some healing to do as well. But also, maybe if you're single, you're not really looking to mingle. With the terms that I can be trusted, for people who are single but not looking, this could just be like trusting that you're on the right path. Trusting your guides, like your guides and the people and whatever angels, ancestors that walk with you, they're telling you that they can be trusted. They're saying that I can be trusted. So trust them that they're guiding you on the right path. And then we have the I Do Good card. So in terms of relationships with this particular card, I mean, it's pretty like verbatim, just making sure that you're doing good in relationships, that you're not being sneaky or conniving, petty, or argumentative, or lying, any type of that, any like behavior deemed bad. Maybe if you've been tempted to do that, or maybe you have been acting like that recently, kind of come back within yourself and tell yourself that you do good, and you don't want to hurt your partner, and you also don't want your partner to hurt you in those ways. And again, this kind of connects to the next card, which is I hold purity and high esteem. So just making sure that your values are still in line, you know, like there's all those chakras right there on her. And she's on a pedestal. So I guess this could have kind of like a double message in terms of like the pedestal. Like you want your partner to hold you up in high esteem, and you want to hold your partner up in high esteem, but you don't want to idolize them in an unhealthy way. So just making sure that like those type of things are in balance, and just keep making sure that you're still staying in aligned with your morals and values, and that you're doing good. My dogs are barking, so we have to take a brief pause. And these next two cards are any key areas or themes that you need to that are going to be of focus in July, and we have patience and surrender. So again, kind of going back to like if you feel like you have trouble manifesting or things are just not manifesting for you, have patience and trust that everything's coming at the timing that it needs to come in. And then surrender, again, just kind of surrendering to the divine, kind of going with the let go, let God. You know, both of these go together, just letting things come in and happen at the pace that they're supposed to happen, that is best for you, for your greatest and highest good. And we have the number 2 and the 91. 91 equals to 10, which is 1, so 2 and 1, so maybe these numbers will be of presence and throughout your July, seeing those numbers repeatedly. And then we have a little affirmation card. This is the ambition card, and it reads, "May I offer all my deepest longings to love itself and invite a divine plan beyond the mind's imagining. Please use me for the highest good." Okay, so remember how I was saying maybe kind of like look at the way that you're manifesting, and it could be, you know, you may need to tweak something. It could be like you're manifesting something that's not meant for you. So maybe kind of like look at that. Is this really what's supposed to be for me? Am I manifesting something that's best for me? And maybe kind of focus on just manifesting some, like what the divine wants for you, manifesting the divine's plan to come unfold in your life. That's something that I'm hearing in terms of kind of like manifesting. Make sure that it's actually for you and best for you. You know, if things aren't manifesting the way that you want them to, the speed you want them to, it's either because it's not your time yet, or it's not if the divine's not doing it because it's not meant for you. So really go within and, you know, look at that and make sure that, you know, is it because it's not my time yet, or because it's not something that's meant for me at all? Alright, pile number 3, that is your July 2020 reading. If you resonated, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Hello, pile number 4, the Honey Calcite pile, and welcome to your July 2020 pick a card reading. So I did an intro, but my family just came home and they're being really loud. So I'm sorry if you hear any background noise. I will try to talk over it. So for your reading, for all the readings, they're divided up into different sections. In the tarot, this is just going to be the general message and general overview for your July. All right. So we have right away, we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, the 7 of Wands, and the Death card in reverse. You're definitely holding on to something that, you know, that needs to be let go with the Death card in reverse. You know, your change is inevitable, and I feel like you're holding on to it. You're being really stubborn and defensive and holding on to whatever needs to be let go from your life. So July, make sure that whatever is leaving your life that you need to let go, and of course it's always going to be difficult and hard, and you want to hold on to things that make you feel safe and comfortable and things that you are used to. But if it's not serving you, you know, with the Death card, whenever you're going through like a death moment, like it's for your greatest and highest good. Whatever is dying or leaving your life, whatever change is happening, it's going to bring in something better. So don't be defensive and stubborn and hold on to things that you need to let go of, because with the Queen of Wands, like with this energy, like she's on her throne, she's creative, she's intelligent, she's smart. You know, there's that sunflower, like she's letting herself bloom into what she needs to become. And I'm saying the Queen of Wands, I'm saying she, doesn't necessarily you are a girl, boy or girl, non-binary, whatever. Like really tap into that energy, and don't let yourself not come into that creative, powerful, strong energy of the Queen of Wands, because you're holding on to things that no longer serve you, and you're being stubborn, and you have your defenses up, and you're fighting off change, and you're holding on to things that make you feel safe and comfortable. But sometimes you have to dive into things and go into things that make you uncomfortable. And kind of like what the message I'm seeing with this card is, you see the black cat, right? Well, a lot of people are always like, well, black cats are bad luck, but she has one at the base of her throne, so she's like taking on those things that maybe others may feel uncomfortable, but she's using it for her power, her benefit. So kind of tap into that energy of like letting things go that no longer serve you and coming into your power. All right, then these cards right here are going to be any extra advice or guidance that Spirit has for you for July. We have the Sylvia Plath card, the Dark. We have the Yumiko Kurahashi card, Transformation. And then we have the Sappho card, which is Love. Okay, so this is almost kind of like a cycle. We have the Dark, the Transformation, and then Love. So I feel like maybe something that you're holding off, I feel like it could be shadow work that you're being defensive about, and you're like, no, I don't need to do that, and you're holding on to those things apart you that are not good for you, that are blocking you from becoming your best self. You're holding on to those things, but you need to do that shadow work and go through that transformation so you can come into your greatest and highest good, and come into your divine love for yourself, receiving divine love from others. This is literally like a cycle of transformation, facing that dark side of you, going through that transformation, and change is needed, allowing that death to take place. I'm almost hearing like ego death to take place, so you can come in to your divineness, your like your highest level, leveling up. Okay, wow, I love that. So like, let July be the month of transformation and coming into your highest self and leveling up, especially with the wands being creative. And there's two wands, the Queen of Wands and the Seven of Wands, especially if it's in terms of like creative projects or passions. Go after those. Don't let comfort keep you where you are, and not like prevent you from going after what you're wanting to do. So yeah, that's a really powerful message for July right there. And these next couple of cards, this is going to be a short little love message. We have I Am Kind, let's see, I Relate in Peace, and then we have I Give Blessings. So with the I Am Kind card, in terms of love, like maybe whether you're single or in a relationship, one thing that can really like open yourself up to love or receiving love better is just being kind. Maybe you've just been kind of like mean or rude, not as sympathetic or empathetic lately. Just kind of like, that could be something that you need to work on, you're kind of holding on to, and I feel like it almost could essentially be a defense, because you feel like if you're too kind, people will walk all over you, but I don't really feel like that's the case. I feel like it's almost preventing you from receiving things. So be kind to others, especially in relationships. The I Relate in Peace. So this card is very interesting. It almost reminds me of like runes. So maybe if you read runes or you want to read runes, this could be your sign to get into that. Maybe if you read them but you haven't done that type of divination in a while of reading runes, this is maybe your sign to get back into it. But coming back to the love message with the I Relate in Peace, the message I'm always hearing with this is maybe you're someone that always wants to give like their 2 cents, but maybe it's not always necessarily needed, and that could cause like fights or arguments with people that you're in relation with. So maybe, you know, of course, like it's always good to correct someone if they're not doing something, if they're doing something bad, or if they're saying something bad or negative or hurtful, of course always correct them. But maybe, you know, if someone's like, maybe someone's like venting to you, but then you kind of switch it to focus on yourself. You know, I relate in peace. Maybe you do truly relate to them and you don't mean any harm when you do that, but just it's their time, let them speak, and know that you can relate to that, you know, in peace within your own self. And then the I give blessings. Maybe your partner has the love language of gift giving, and maybe you haven't really been gift giving, or maybe you don't even know that that's your love language. So maybe assess if you sit down with your partner and kind of go over each other's love languages, and maybe you'll find out that your partner is a gift giver, a gift receiver. That's how they, you know, receive and feel love the best. So just in terms of that, but also just wishing well in others, you know, like maybe if you see someone else in a relationship, instead of being envious, you know, bless that relationship, bless that they, you know, thrive and grow together, and that they, you know, just bloom into something very beautiful, you know, kind of like the butterfly transformation. So there's that for the little love message. And then next, these next 2 cards, these are going to be any key themes that are going to be a focus in July. So we have spiritual, career, and effort. So maybe in July you've been thinking about going into a spiritual career, like maybe you do divination. Like I said, the runes, or any type of like divination, tarot, whatever. Maybe even wanting to go into that, Reiki, all of that stuff. So maybe this is going to be your month where you're finally pursuing it, and you're opening yourself up to that and receiving that path, that new path being presented in front of you. And then we have the effort card, number 13. July's going to be a month of effort. It's going to be a month of work, kind of going back to these 3 cards about kind of like the process of transformation, facing your shadow side and transforming into the better version of yourself. It's going to require effort. It's going to require work. So this is not going to be a month of laziness per se, especially if you're wanting to pursue a new spiritual career that's going to take effort to really jump into. And then lastly, we have a little affirmation card, and this is the truth card. And this card reads, when everything is done as an offering, even the act of speaking, you get shown when to talk and when to be silent. Your words come from silence, not fear. You do the talking, dear Lord. Take me over and speak through me. Okay, this is very much essentially the I relate in peace card. So this is kind of like a little affirmation and message and advice just to carry with you throughout your month of July. All right, pile 4, that was your reading for July. If it resonated, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.